This is based on Harts Ladder of participation. And all of these are engagement. Manipulation, decoration, tokenism. These are the very bottom rungs of the engagement ladder. And again, oftentimes not done intentionally at all. Sometimes people honestly, they're trying to engage. That's why they're on the ladder, because we recognize that it is, you're engaging, you're reaching out to families, perhaps more than in general, but you might not understand what you're doing is either manipulation, decoration, or tokenism. And I'm going to try and give you some examples to bring it into perspective. And again, these are general examples. These are not things that have happened to me or that I'm trying to make a point about in Niagara. So if something like this is going on right now, that's definitely maybe an ouch or an oops, but I'm not trying to call anybody out, okay? So manipulation. Manipulation might be, and this actually happened in a community. Ministry of Child and Youth Services wants some feedback from families, so they send out something to all of the community-based mental health agencies in the province saying, hey, can you connect your families with this survey? So agencies like, yeah, sure, but we've heard in the past that families sometimes don't understand how ministry speak is. Like, and this language is maybe not as family friendly as it should be. So we're going to send it out, but we're going to send it out as completed, saying that families could copy and paste this and submit it because we're going to make it easy for them, right? So they send out the survey. They send out, we know that you don't have a lot of time. We know that you might not understand these survey questions. So here are some suggested answers for each of the questions. Okay, they were trying to be extremely intentional about being family engaged, right? Because they had heard multiple times, we hate these surveys that don't speak our language. I do not have time to spend hours online filling out surveys that I don't even necessarily understand or how they relate to me. They were really trying to understand where families were coming from and help address that. What they didn't realize is that they were then manipulating family voice, right? So there was many other ways that potentially they could have still addressed those same issues, but again, didn't intentionally try to manipulate families. They honestly thought, we're engaging families, so that's why it's on this rung. And that's why it's really important, when I said at the beginning, we have to recognize what family engagement is not. And it's sometimes never that obvious. It's sometimes really subtle. Decoration is things like, there's a big event going on, and you invite families to come and you give them a table, right? And during the presentation, everybody goes, and here's some of the families we serve, and hey, everybody waves, and everybody loves the families, and oh, everybody showers love on them. And then at the end of the night, they go away. That is decoration. That's sort of saying, and those families that are invited are always, and forgive me, but they are always the families that present really well. That you know are going to show up, they're going to be dressed, they're going to have their hair done, they're going to have their makeup on. Their kids, if they bring kids, are going to be dressed, and they're going to sit, and they're going to be able to be quiet. So again, they are not necessarily a true representation of who you serve, but they play well to the crowd, right? And it makes everybody look really like, yes, we are in touch. What makes that decoration is, were they involved in the planning of? Were they involved in the content of? Like, how were they involved other than, did they speak? Did they have any interaction with any of the people? Or were they literally just a table that you felt really good about because they got a table and they got to come out for the night and everybody recognized that these are great families? Which again is not bad, and for some families, really appreciate it. I've been to those things. Even now I get invited to those things and I'm like, whatever, it's a free meal and it's a night away from my kids, so I'll go. I know I'm being used as decoration, but hey. So again, not bad, and most of the time I understand they're not intending to use me as decoration. They're showing that, hey, we have an eye on what's important, and look, we have someone who's really connected to families, and we're including them in this event. I get it. And we're going to talk about this Harts Ladder. It's about how you move up the rungs of Harts Ladder. It isn't about, getting upset with yourself. Like, these are where you can't find the right gear or you've stalled, right? And it's forgiving yourself and learning how to be more smooth in your thinking. If you can become fluent in Harts Ladder, you're going to become fluent in family engagement. Tokenism. This is, I think, the easiest to fall into. Tokenism happens a lot at like committee tables and governance tables, things like that. You can say, you can go from this meeting today, go to your agency and go, oh my gosh, it's really important that we include families at a governance level. So we got to go look, we got to recruit some families and they're going to sit on our board of directors. And if that's all you do, and you get a family member who's willing to sit on your board of directors, that potentially could be tokenism. If that's all you've done, recruit, hire, recruit, get them on there, and that's it. If that family member sits there, doesn't necessarily contribute, doesn't have equal representation or confidence in the process, so there's a lot of people saying something like, think about how even you feel in family conversations or relationships, if there's 8 of you, and 7 people are saying something and you're thinking to yourself, I don't agree with that at all. It's harder for you to sort of say, I don't agree with that because there are 7 people who are telling you that's the right way to think about it. So that has a real potential to be tokenizing.